Yo, good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Morning Market Report. I am R&B Piper. We have a fresh new all-time high. I got a fresh shave. We have a Monday morning full of info, alpha, whatever you guys need to know this week. If you guys don't know, this is Crypto Week. And why is it Crypto Week? Because there are 4 bills being talked about this week in Washington, D.C., up on the Hill. So a lot of volatility opportunities coming. Of course, you know, we like to take that volatility, work it to our advantage, and make a little bit of money off of it. Shout out to Ada Ace. Happy birthday to Ada Ace, guys. Today's his birthday. He had his show this morning. I caught the end of it. It's pretty good. Sorry, man. I sleep. That's like early where I am. It's not as early as it used to be, though. I used to get up at like 5:45 a.m. I don't have to get up that early now. I don't know. I should have got up earlier, man. I apologize. But yeah, what I caught looked pretty good, man. Good stuff going over there on your channel. Look at that tan bald head. That's Lake Life right there, username. Guys, we're looking at Bitcoin here, and I am going to point out that I'm a little concerned. OC and I were just talking about this. I am a little concerned with everything happening here on the daily. We're starting to flatten out on the histogram up there. We're getting overbought signals. We'll talk about what happened the last time we had that there on the daily chart. But overall, for now, we're just going to continue to ride the ride, man. Just right back around, get back in line, jump back on the seat again, and we're just going to keep looping this roller coaster as long as we can. On the daily right now, looking pretty strong here. On the hourly, looking pretty strong here. Looking at the TradFi markets. A little bit of a pullback, but nothing major, considering it's a CPI week going on this week. We have all of that coming out tomorrow. So when you take into account that we're only down like 0.17, it's not horrible right now. We're not horrible. I will say that the VIX is starting to move up out of 17. And again, that's an indicator of volatility, guys. So without any further ado, let's get into this, break all this data down, take a look at these charts, and what does it mean? What does it mean for the week? That's what we're going to talk about. Guys, you know what to do. Take your seats, please. Everyone take your seats. Get out your notebooks. And yeah, class is in session. Let's get it. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Morning Market Report. If you guys are just joining us here, this is the show where we bring you the news, the macro, the headlines, what is going on in the week outside of your price action. You know, there is life beyond that chart that has to do with that chart. That's what we break down here, and we bring it all to you in a nice little neat package so that you guys can take it, aggregate it, regurgitate it, use it, and run off with it and do great things. That's what we do. But I don't do the show by myself. I have an amazing co-host. Amazing. You may know him as the king of Mexican spaghetti, also known as Mexican Superman, but we call him the OC guy. What's up, OC? How you doing today, bro? Good to see you, man. Here, hearts for you. I'll give you hearts since you can't do this.
Can I harvest them? Thank you very much for that beautiful introduction. Doing fantastic. Played out a long that we were expecting throughout the Sunday. In fact, I remember, guys, I told you we should be having a long opportunity by Sunday. Did not play it out exactly for the best case scenario, but they did play it out on the break-off structure that last time did got us for just maybe a couple of cents. Well, then this time we did not let it go. So who said buy high and sell low? Well, we just are into a long position. Nonetheless, remember, we could be buying top, so you had to use a stop loss. If you didn't use a stop loss, guys, still at it. It's not too late. We're in profits, so go ahead and use it because this might reverse at any point. So I'm just saying. Yeah,
it could. It's on shaky ground. I'm like, whoa. Did you ever skateboard? Did you ever skateboard, OC?
Oh, once I broke my skull, no, but I did snowboarding.
So back in the day, and it's a lot the same with snowboarding, but back in the day when I was young, decades ago, I used to skateboard. I had the hot pink Tony Hawk Pro Skater skateboard. Yeah, it's like a big board. This was a massive thing back in the day, right? It was the hot pink one with the Bones Brigade, and it had the Tony Hawk on it, the skull. And I used to skateboard. down the hills in Knoxville, Tennessee. And if you don't know anything about Knoxville, Tennessee, it's at the edge of the Appalachian Mountains. So I used to skateboard down those hills, and it was crazy how fast you could go. I passed cars going down the hills. And so, yeah, I longboard. There you go, BC. This was basically longboarding before longboarding existed. What I was doing. But you would get going so fast sometimes that thing would start to get this wobble, and it would get really scary there for a minute. You have to like just center yourself, control the emotions, don't get all panicky with it, right? And then just let it smooth out, because you had slime ball wheels. We had Baron speed bearings on there. We had, all of the good stuff was on this board. I have Independence trucks. I was rocking the best gear on the skateboard. And if you would just calm down, it would smooth out, right? That's what we got to do right now. So just find our calm, control our emotions, let it settle out, and just continue the ride. That's what we got to do. So if you guys remember that skateboard, shout out to you. Let's go ahead and bring the chat up here. Let's see who all we got in the house with us today, OC, because we got the gang, man. The gang is all here with us watching right now. Shout out to Alex O Crypto, by the way. He was not live. I think he's on vacay this week, but yeah, shout out to him. I do have my OG coffee mug, because it is OG Monday. There we go. Got the OG coffee mug, drinking my coffee in there today. But let's go give a shout out to everybody. We got Ninja Glock in here. Alexandra G is in the house with us. Keith, Crypto Coin Mindset. We're redirecting to you today, bro. You and T.I. Joe, a real American hero. Trade Intuition. We'll be pushing over to them today. Dylan VA is in here. Heart. Darren does things. Ayo, fam, what's up with you, bro? What's up? He did the Holy Balls and Gypsy and OC guy and Piper. Gypsy's chilling out in the front room right now. So good morning, Harp. Alexander G said. Ada Ace is in here saying, smash that like. Guys, I agree with Ada Ace. I can't argue with that. Smash that like. It helps us out immensely. Username is in here. Look at that tan bald head. Buck Papa wants some pirate money. Papa wants some pirate money. I love you, Buck. You're the best, man. Wixwife Fine 89 is in the house right now. Guys, drop them 2 dubs in the chat. Show her some support. Show that lady some love. Who else? Robert Mulligan saying good morning to everybody. Appreciate seeing you here. Crypto Trades is joining us in the house. Trade Intuition, bingo, bango. And I think that's about it. Oh, BC Port Corp, of course, can't forget him. Eric Wallen. I was hoping Eric Wallen would be here, because I'm actually going to talk about his post on X today. Just saying. Yes, I read your guys' post too. If you follow me, I follow you on X. So, and Eric Wallen made a comment that I have to agree with. 100% have to agree with what he said. But let's go ahead and let's jump into the news, OC. We got some metrics to go over, guys. It's DCA Monday. All of the DCAs are in over on the Discord, the Bitcoin, all of the altcoins. We dropped it all in there, even put a little message about, hey, guys, be careful. Some of these altcoins, if you're going to, they're at levels that it might be in your best interest to start taking profits. I know we start out at 30% on the 70% level, but some of these you might want to start 10%ing. So you read all my posts. Most of them, I do username. Yeah, so just watch where some of these altcoins are at. Go through there. If you guys have any questions, join us today over in the Discord. It's our VIP session with all of our alumni, and I'll explain any questions or answer any questions that you guys have over there on DCA Monday. So let's go jump over into the news, OC, though, and we'll be right back with you. Just hang tight, bro. Go get your coffee. Go get your coffee, man. All right, guys. Yeah. Looking at the Into the Cryptoverse indicators today, the metrics. Let's give this a refresh. I think this might be a little bit different now. Maybe not. Nope, it's not. All right, current crypto market cap right now is sitting at $3.807 trillion. Our trend line on this is at $4.058 trillion. And I want to talk about Buck, stop. I want to talk about this undervaluation thing, guys, because we typically hit this negative 6.19%. Okay. I'm not going to go too deep into this right now. I want to do this here in a little while, but if we go in here and we pull this up and we put this through the entire 15-year period, you can see at the beginning of the cycles, we were in these phases where we're beneath, and then we hit it and we do this parabolic run up to the upper band, right? Again, underneath it, its resistance on the median. That's that red line there. Okay, that's the red line there. And then we break it and we do this massive run up to the upper band. Okay. Now, I'm not saying this is going to happen, but I do want to point out something here. Okay. I want to point out that we've been beneath this band for quite a while. Okay. Been beneath this band. We're about to break it, and this is going to put us at a fair value of valued. We're be at fair value. We're only 6% beneath it right now, and we typically run up and do this massive run up. Again, look, cycle peak back in 2018, cycle peak back in 2014. Now, we didn't quite hit it here in 2021, hit that upper band, but we were at least 50% of the way. Okay, let's go in and take a look at that area, guys, and just talk about what that would look like. That would be a $10 trillion, $10 trillion total crypto market cap if we were to hit 50% between the median and the upper band. Okay. If we just hit the upper band, if we just hit the median, Alex O Crypto, I just talked about you. What's up, bro? Alex O, guys, drop the otters there for Alex O. We missed you this morning, man. We hate when we don't get to watch Alex O in the morning and prep the show. If we hit this median, guys, we would be at $4.1 trillion. Okay. If we go to that midway line, we're talking about a $10 trillion market cap. And so you're looking at from here, from 4 to 10, you're looking at another 1.5 X, which would be 150%. What's Bitcoin at? I think it's like 120. You're talking like $300,000 Bitcoin at least. I don't know. It's worth noting. I know it might be a pipe dream, but at this point, we got to pay attention to this crypto market cap total in our where we're about to hit on the undervaluation line on the fair median, and then what happens once we break that historically on every cycle. So, looking at the current risk bands right now, we are at 0.596. That's a 59.6% risk band on Bitcoin. That is still a 2x. We are still doing a 2 times DCA. We will not start taking profits until this thing hits 70%. And at that point, it's only 30% of our total token count that we'll take profit on. Guys, if you are interested in the Piper plan, it gives you a DCA weekly DCA plan. It gives you your setup, and then all of a sudden, bam, we hit these other levels and we talk about taking profits. Everyone talks about dollar cost averaging. No one tells you how to protect your wealth and take profits. We do that at the Academy. Might be a Piper dream, you mean? Wix Wi-Fi 89, all that and comedy. I love it. We love you, fam. Love you too, man. Alex, appreciate you, bro. Looking at Bitcoin dominance right now, guys, we are with stable coins included. Bitcoin dominance is at 63.65%. Take those stable coins away, we're at 68.17. Bitcoin is holding its dominance. So that's what that means. And we're not seeing it drop too much. Bitcoin actually performing much greater than what alts have so far this cycle. We'll take a look at where those alts are at from their all-time high, because I looked at that this morning too. Let's go check out the X post here. Let's go into bookmarks. And let's take a look here. Fear and greed. We're still in greed. We're not even in an extreme greed yet. So we're at 74 right now on the greed for Bitcoin. Fear and greed. Love it. And then I want to talk about this one real fast while we have it in here. Kabisi letter. This is not normal, he says. Not normal. We have reached a point where Bitcoin is moving in a literal straight line higher. Rates are rising. The US dollar is down 11% in 6 months, and crypto is up $1 trillion in 3 months. That's what we were just talking about, is that trillion pumpage, guys. We're at almost $4 trillion on the market cap when we hit that fair value that we were just looking at on Into the Cryptoverse. I don't think that 10 trillion is insane if we stay on the glide path. If we lose the glide path, then of course it will just fire as needed. But looking at this right now, rates are rising. What's happening? Bitcoin has entered crisis mode. And let's go down here and see what he's talking about. Bitcoin has reached a point where it is quite literally making new all-time high multiple times a day since the U.S. House passed President Trump's big, beautiful bill on July 3rd. Bitcoin is up $15,000. If the surge in gold price didn't alert you, Bitcoin should. Does it get any more obvious than this? Take a look at the year-to-date performance of Bitcoin in the U.S. dollar index. There are two distinct divergences. Right there, 90-day pause in the tariffs, and then right there, took off again, big beautiful bill. After April 9th, the 90-day tariff pause, and July 1st, the big beautiful bill was passed. It's beyond clear. Heading into July, the market received data that the U.S. posted $316 billion deficit for May 2025 alone. No worries, no worries. Our great-great-grandchildren to pay for it. And it seems that Bitcoin was rallying on trade deal hopes, but whether trade deals were announced or not, the market was seeing the same outcome. Yields are rising, Bitcoin's rising, USD is falling, and gold is becoming the safe haven. So that's what's going on there with that, guys. I just wanted to bring that up and show you. It's pretty interesting take there. Looking at liquidations in the past 24 hours, 126,716 traders got liquidated. Total liquidations coming in at $740.2 million. The largest single liquidation. Holy crap. Holy balls, OC. Look at this one, bro. Check it out. Largest single liquidation order happened on Binance. It was Bitcoin for $98 million on a single trade. Oh my God. Hold on.
It was at this moment he knew. He fucked up.
Emotional damage.
Gotta get those ones in there for that. Jeez Louise. All right, let's go over and talk about crypto bubbles. Take a look at what everything's sitting at. Bitcoin is currently up right now 2.7%. It's sitting at $121,864. Ethereum is sitting up 2.2% on the day, just above $3,000. I need to get my phone over here turned on to the show so that I can, monitor it, see how it's going, maybe smash my own like button. There we go. I smashed it. Now we have another like. There we go. Cool. We also have a poll in there, guys. If you haven't done the poll, it says, will we get a full-blown alt season? That means all alts pump, all of them, not in waves. Will we get a full-blown altcoin season this cycle? Let me know what you guys think in the poll. We'll go back and read it here in a bit. Looking at XRP, it's up 5.8%. XRP getting a beautiful rally, $3,000 or $3 is what we're sitting at on XRP. You guys wish we'd never hear from Wick again. BNB is up 1.6% at $703. Other big movers, guys. Stellar Lumens. XLM, we this is in our DCA plan. We talk about this one. XRP is in our DCA plan also, by the way. Matter of fact, if you really take a look, anything that has done well besides Cardano, sorry, ADAs, it's only up 1.7%, but it is at 75 cents. Anything that is like 3%, 4% is in our stuff. SWE is in there also. And we've been doing 3-time and 4-time, 4X and 3X DCA levels on SWE for months now. It is up 13.9% at $3.93. I'm in a trade right now along on SWE. As a matter of fact, Chainlink, that's in our DCA plan. It's at 4.3%. Of the big movers, that's about it. 3.3% on Shiba Inu. Don't do that one. That one's not in my thing. I do not have, the only meme I have is Doge. So in the Piper plan, but that's where we're sitting out on the crypto bubbles right now. Let's go over and talk about the TradFi markets overnight. Europe. Let's take a look at Europe. Europe was mixed, mostly red last night. The Asian market mixed again. HSI and Shanghai was the only one that was green. Japan, India down. The bond market. Where is the U.S.? Where is the U.S. Treasury bond in here? Holy crap. They said, just hide that. Don't let anyone see what's going on with the U.S. Treasury bond. That's crazy. Dow Jones and the S&P are both in the red right now. NASDAQ almost flat. It's about 0.02. Russell 2K is up about 10%. The VIX continuing to go up. Let's take a look at gold. Gold is sitting at $3,363. It's about flat. Silver is at $39 an ounce. Man, I may have to go sell some silver. May have to go sell some. Copper, platinum, and palladium all sitting to the downside. But I will point out again, for those guys, we were having this conversation a couple weeks ago about palladium versus platinum. Platinum's down 3%. Palladium's only down 1.8%. And it has been outperforming platinum also. So I like palladium. Industrial tech, man. Yeah, let's go talk about the economic data this week. Nothing today. You guys are in the clear today. Monday, kind of mellow. Even if we go to the 1 star, you'll see it's just people talking. Yakety yak. 3-month bill auction. That's what it is. 3-month bill, 6-month bill auctions. That's it. And then the big one tomorrow, core inflation rate month over month and year over year expected to be higher. This would be, hey, inflation's going up. Okay, that's what that would mean. And that means with our labor numbers that we've been seeing, job numbers have been better than expected. Inflation going up, very likely not getting rate cuts anytime soon. Quantitative tightening will continue. Or as we said in the military, the beatings will continue until morale increases. So looking here at the inflation rate for month over month and just not core, just a regular inflation rate, even that's expected to be up 0.2% and 0.3% there on the consensus for year over year. So CPI data tomorrow, kind of making everybody hold their breath and wait and see, right? PPI, this is going to be producer price inflation. How much does it cost for producers to make things, right? They have goods that they have to buy in order to make another good. So that is expected also on Wednesday to be up. So another sign of inflation. Thursday, we're going to get retail sales expected to be up a little bit. It was negative 9%. They're expecting that it's going to be up slightly, meaning consumption is continuing while prices are up. And that would mean at the end of the day that you're very likely going to see more inflation because demand is there from retail. If they can't keep up with the supply, that's how you get other inflation. And this is before you even calculate in tariffs, guys. Tariff stuff, trade war stuff, not even in that equation yet. And then Friday, we're going to get housing permits. Nothing big there. So yeah, big week, guys. Big week of data coming in here on inflation. Matter of fact, if you want to take a look, flashbang, warning. This is the CME Group's projections of rate cuts for July right now. 95.3% chance of no rate cuts for July. Look at September. Right now, 36% chance of no change. That's where we start to lean into a possibility, 63. I don't think we get it in September. I think we get our first one in October, and that's where I sit at on that. 14.5% chance of no change right now, only an 85% chance for October that we get it. It used to be like 98% chance. It's slowly drifting away. Look at this. Dow Jones falls 100 points, but losses are muted as investors bet that Trump will lower his tariffs. Live updates coming in on this. Stocks will lower on Monday after President Trump threatened high tariffs on more countries over the weekend. But losses were kept in check as investors bet that those duties will eventually be negotiated down. Investors were also optimistic about second quarter earnings season, which ramps up this week too. Oh my goodness. Crypto week, earnings week, tariff week, inflation week. It's going to be a brutal ride, guys. And then let's talk about this. Bitcoin surpasses $120,000 to record highs ahead of the lawmakers' crypto week. See, I didn't make that word up. It's actually a thing. Bitcoin extended gains Monday to hit new milestones, breaking past $120,000, fueled by a rally in the cryptocurrencies ETFs. The largest cryptocurrency by market capitalization traded at $121,921. We actually beat that. Those are rookie numbers.
I gotta pump those numbers up. Those are rookie numbers in this racket.
The rally has seen Bitcoin reach new highs amid more inflows into Bitcoin ETFs. On Thursday, Bitcoin ETFs had logged their biggest day of inflows in 2025 at $1.18 billion. We believe that Bitcoin surge is driven by longer-term institutional buyers, and this will propel it to $125,000 in the next month or two, maybe sooner than you think there, sir. Jeff Mee, Chief Operating Officer at crypto exchange BTC, said in the statement sent to CNBC. Amateur numbers there. Trump's trade disputes with the likes of the EU and Mexico and other trading partners could cause dips in the week ahead, but it's likely that Bitcoin's institutional buyers are discounting this risk and maintaining their positions that Bitcoin will appreciate in the long run. Good call, institutional investors. So what is Crypto Week? Let's talk about this. And OC, we're actually going to jump this over, and we'll bring you up here with me to talk about Crypto Week, sir. Crypto Week. Investors have been anticipating Bitcoin to hit new record highs this year as corporate treasuries accelerate their Bitcoin buying sprees and U.S. Congress nears the passing of new crypto regulation. The U.S. House of Representatives will begin deliberating on a series of crypto bills on Monday and what has been dubbed Crypto Week. Crypto Week. The potential laws are aimed at providing a clearer regulatory framework for the digital asset industry. One of the most significant bills under consideration is the Genius Act, circle, which could establish federal guardrails for the U.S. dollar-pegged stablecoins and create a pathway for private companies to issue digital dollars. Long-term holders are locking up supply, while global policy clarity, especially around stablecoins and crypto regulation or legislation, I should say, has boosted investors' confidence in capital inflows. Speaking on CNBC's Access Middle East, the CEO of 10X Research said that he hopes that the U.S. will announce a sovereign wealth fund that could purchase digital currencies, also overhanging factor market. He noted that, well, let's keep going. There's other stuff too. They're doing some talk this week about the CCO, because they have begun approving for the integration on the stable coins and crypto and being held by banks. And then, yeah, it's crypto week, man. There's a lot going on, and they're talking about everything up there in the good old, where's our ticker, man? Where's our ticker, OC? We need our ticker. There we go. In the good old hill, up on Capitol Hill. BC, don't be so angry with your middle fingers to the Genius Act in the circle. Make your money where you can make your money. It's not an emotion, it's not a relationship. You don't have to be emotional about it. It's not a relationship. They're not asking you to date it. It's just asking if you'll take its money, and that's what you'll say yes to, BC. We love you, man. OC, what are we seeing? What are we seeing over on the Bitcoin charts today, man? Let's talk about some short term. I know you like to look at that 4 hour. Let's talk about that. There is something that we're seeing on that chart with some predictive ranges that we need to discuss. But then we're going to look at the daily also. So let's go ahead and kick it over to you and see what we're seeing on your chart, bro.
Absolutely. This is the spaghetti that we have for breakfast today. And yeah, I'm not muted. I thought I was. All right, but let's first go back to Friday and let's see where we left out, right? I was explaining that right here, we left out just for a little bit right here, right? We were expecting for it to come back down. We even pushed it slightly higher, did not went in, or at least for me, never went into this entry, and then took off, right? So it left us out of here, right, on that one. And then what happens? Well, then we did, it let us hanging, right? So not to make the same mistake again, remember that we were expecting for either a pushback down, right, for a re-entry, or a break of structure. I know it's a little bit spaghetti, but here it is, the B, all right, the B, O, although this one also looks like a U, B, O, and then, come on, I changed that, B, O, S, all right, break of structure, and we underline it 3 times so we didn't forget, right? Once we underlined it 3 times, well, what happened? It did the same flag out as in here. We were expecting that same flip of the ribbon, and then the recuperation. What happens as we broke through the structure here was 1 second candle in the green. That's when I jumped in, and then boom shakalaka. But again, guys, everything's looking top, very, very toppy. Yeah, absolutely. So buying tops is not something that we want to do. Nonetheless, if we see this as a possible continuation, I mean, we already have continued once, continued 2 times, right? And then continue maybe 3 times. So once again, not to be left out by this itty-bitty retracement. I know this wasn't especially on the better option because it never retraced to our dynamic reactor reentry. We can still have a big retracement to 1.0 or 115, 116, or even 118. Remember, it's not about your breakout, it's about your retest, especially on the daily. So let's go really quick on the daily. And what are we having? We're having the breakout. Usually when we have this breakout, look at that, it goes to the blue line, ranges, and then try to make the push. Although since we have a lot more air in between that blue line and the center line, I believe that there we go, we might be having a little bit of a retracement in here, right? Ranging back down here, breakout, retest, and then off we go somewhere around this blue line. Hopefully that is the case because we're going to be talking about 130K. So that will be pretty nice, right? So that's why we need a stop loss and be prepared to re-enter either the same zones or a little bit below. So if we're going to be going downwards, well then remember that is not a for sure thing. So if we're going to be going downwards, it is worth to say that this could also be a good opportunity to take a little bit out to compensate your possible stop out or your possible stop loss. Why? At this point, I don't think I'm going to be moving my stop to entry just now. And that is because in case we can go back down and then we re-enter in the same zone, I'd rather keep my stop loss and take just enough profits to compensate for this stop loss. So I'm basically evening that out. But that's what I got so far on Bitcoin. And you mentioned that we had something going on the predictive ranges, right, Piper?
I did. But I want to talk about the CME gap because you just talked about a level, 115, whatever. We have a CME gap from 10 July that goes all the way down to 113.9. Top side on this is 115.8 right now. So 115.580, I should say. We did have others. If you guys are curious, like how often do these fill? Well, we had one here, right here. This did not get filled. Okay. But we had one here, came back days later, filled it, right to it. Perfect. We had another one that was here, came down a couple days later, came up, filled it. Okay, this one's gone. This one's gone. Now we got this one sitting here that's coming in again, 115, 116,000, that range, 580, I think it is. And then we're downside on this is about 113.9. So that's what I'm watching there on the Bitcoin dominance. But let's go over and talk about what I'm seeing on the predictive ranges. Because interestingly enough, when we turn on predictive ranges, guys, these print when they break new frames, right? We broke a frame here. That's that purple line right there. We broke this. Our blue median on this. So here's your upper frame, your upper resistance, gold band. There is your delta. And typically, not always, but often, we will return back to that blue delta line. Now, keep in mind, we did have a period here on the daily. Let's go talk about this one where we broke into a new range. Took a while to get there, but we came back down and then bam, we come up. Let's look at the daily and see what we're seeing here. There again, upper, your median, right? There it is, all coming in. Our delta on this one is sitting at about a 111. This one's the 4 hour that I want to be on here because this one we kind of said, yeah, let's forget about that delta. Let's not even play that game for a bit. And let's just see where we go from here. And when these come in, can you load for me? Appreciate you much. Thank you much. When we look at what happened with the delta here on the previous run, that's where we came up and I said, this should, OC, it's not loading for me, bro. There's ETH.
Now, there we go.
There's Bitcoin. Load for me, Bitcoin. Load there we go. Come on. You can do it. You can do it. Life support. Clear. There we go. So we broke into a new range. We broke the purple. And I said, look, guys, we could come all the way back here to 113 and close that out. No, we just kept going and we broke a new range. Now we're looking at this one here where's our delta on the 4 hour, OC? It's coming in right about $124,000. So if the thing, if it plays true this time, which most of the time it does, that we go to that blue delta, we're at least looking at $124,000 Bitcoin based on the predictive ranges right now. Now, what bothers me, what's got me worried, it's got me a little bit of concernicus right now is how all of the oscillators are looking on the daily. We're getting way toppy here on the MACD normalized. We're starting to get flat on the histogram. We've got overbought here on the daily. The power bar has waned. True 7 has fired off. We've started a turn down here on the oscillator ribbon. We're getting red here, which means, hey, we're really hot, really oversold above that 70% on the RSI. But I do want to point a couple of things out. While we talk about this bad news, there's some silver linings in here that I do want to show. And then I'll show you what has happened the last time dailies have fired off these overboughts on Chart Prime's Oscillator Pro. Our candles are not getting shorter. We're not getting any big wicks, like you see a wick that printed here on it, and we had this pullback, right? We're not getting wicks, really. We're not getting a shorter candle. It's not flattening out. We're actually coming higher right now on the RSI Prime, right? And so we have that silver lining. The other silver lining is that this candle here on the histogram is getting, again, a little bit higher. It's not shortening down. It's flat, but this could easily just continue up on the next candle. But take a look at money flow. Take a look at volume. money flow and volume are both moving to the upside still. So it is very possible that this stuff starts to cool off while we flag out in here, while this is all cooling off. And then we really haven't lost much space before we have another run. And these are all ready to go back to the upside again. So that's the two things that I wanted to point out there. But let's go back and take a look historically at what happens when we get this. We're going to talk about this oscillator pro here from Chart Prime. When we get these overbought signals, okay, on the daily. Let's go back. When's the last time we had that? Oh, Lord, it's back here. What happened there? We continued. We went sideways. We started to range right there. We flagged. And then, bam, look, everything cooled off while we were pumping again, okay? Get rid of the Mexican spaghetti. Thank you. There we go. Let's go back and take another look in history here. We had it happen here. Okay. Get back up there, sir. Get back up there. What happened? We hit overbought. Okay. Everything said downtrend. Price flagged out for a little bit and then rallied. Okay. So the only other one that we had back here in this time period, this is going back to February 2024, is we had to overbought here. And what did we do? We flagged out sideways and then rallied. Guys, typically when we get these overbought signals, they don't mean sell-off. They mean consolidation, okay? And so I wanted to talk about that because if we take a look at where we currently are sitting right now, that's exactly what I want to see happen with all of our other oscillators. We're pretty much at this point where these are all saying, hey, toppy, toppy, very toppy. So is the Oscillator Pro. And typically when this setup has happened, we've done a consolidation and then another rally. So keep all of this in mind, guys. We are looking very toppy, but there's some silver linings in all of this with the oscillators today. I think Bitcoin has still got some more room to go. If we do have a pullback, sure, quick down to 114, but that might be the opportunity that everyone is waiting for because they've missed out. For those that are watching this over on, well, it's not on Facebook today, but I usually push this on my Facebook so all my friends and family that don't know how to use YouTube and X can watch. For all the people that I've been talking to since 2020 about getting Bitcoin, this is not your chance to run into the market and ape in, okay? But you can dollar cost average on these pullbacks, okay? And that 114, 115 range might be those opportunity that those people turned down for what, Hank Hill? Hey, did you guys see that King of the Hill is coming back after 15 years on Hulu? It's in like real time, like 15 years later. Bobby's grown up. Hank Hill's retired. He said, I didn't retire so I could sleep my day away. And he's waking up at like 5 in the morning. I love it. Love Hank Hill. Anyway, this is that opportunity that people may be looking for, is that pullback to the 114, 115, and it could get bought up very quickly and spring load it again and cool off all those oscillators. So, OC, what are you watching? What are you watching on some altcoins, man? And then I'll jump over and talk. Oh, wait, before we do that, pause for effect. I did want to show you guys one thing that I was watching on the, where is it? There we go. On here. Let's jump over here. Let's go. This is what I was talking about last week and why I said I don't think we're going to see the markets pull back yet and sell off. Why? Because we had way too many shorts versus longs open, and the market doesn't tend to go the way the majority is going. Guys, if we take a look and just refresh this, you'll see on the 24-hour, we're still looking at like almost 50%, actually right at 50% of the market still thinks we're going short. Only 10-30% are long. But if we look here, I want to show you on the ratio here, the Bitcoin long short ratio chart. And we look here, right now we're sitting at almost 50-50. 47.94% are short, 52% are long. We could see a little pullback on that now. But you got 1% that are Alex O schlong in it right now. So evidently Alex O's community is right there watching this closely. But look at Binance, though. It's not across the board. Binance has still got 66.8% in shorts. So I don't know that it's time yet to see that reversal in the markets. OC, Let's go. Let's go and see BC Port Court. Damn it, Bobby. Let's go see what you're looking at on altcoins, OC, and let's talk about some of those. SWE getting an absolute crush move overnight. So was XRP, but SWE, we got to talk about that one. And what else are you watching over there, bro? What you got?
Absolutely. So let's get started with the hashtag Ethereum, because here's a couple of things that I want to make sure that we settle down. Remember how we trade the break of structure of Bitcoin? Well, I'm not doing the same with, for example, Ethereum, right? Why? Because Bitcoin, it is daddy, right? It is the chief of commander right there. But everybody else is just following what Bitcoin does in a more crappy little way, right? The best as they can, including Ethereum. Despite Ethereum has a little fucked up place in my heart right there. Still, I mean, I don't
Emotional damage.
Yes. So absolutely, I still don't trade it as Bitcoin, right? So I don't trade a break of structures here, but still something happening, which is a possible goose head. Remember that I'm looking for a goose head to look actually like a goose with its beak, right? At least straight to the right, right? Not pointing much to the downside, although if it's pointing to the downside and I'm still in the green cloud, I can still consider it a goose head, right? So I'm still on the green, looking for that peak. Usually that is a little retracement, all right, when it's building up the peak, to then a further move to the upside, and then a big retracement. How far up, it's unknown, but if we bring up our support and resistances, we can see the first area for resistance. It is 3,136. I'm still not long in this thing until I see a break of the current structure. So no BOS, but a continuation. Like, for example, is this a double top? It actually looking like one, right? So how do I trade that? Let me just clean up everything here mostly everything here on Ethereum. Let me clear also a couple of other stuff in here. Let's just leave it as is, all right? And that will be it. So the first thing we do, it is, as always, a good trend line. Our trend line is already kind of like unknown because we can't really draw a trend line other than this, right? But if this is our trend line, it's not about your breakout, it's about your retesting up here, and then it will make sense to make a little push to the downside. Another thing that might be happening here, it is, look at this formation. And we know this from Bitcoin, little hump, bigger hump, and that creates a little flag, right? That flag ends up breaking to the upside, right? Not all the time, but this is a pattern that we know, which we have a little high, a bigger high, and we hold the ground, basically not breaking below this low. So we can still, you see my alert right there at 2,898 for my possible reentry. That's still valid, right? So remember, just going straight to the point, I was expecting a little bull flag. It is going up. I'm not longing this unless I have a retracement or some pattern flagging out. And that's what I'm expecting, a little hump flag playing out. Just in case you were wondering what kind of pattern I'm looking for, we got it. We almost always have it on Bitcoin. We go up, we have the first hump, the second hump, we flag out, we create a triangle, and then based on that triangle, we usually end up going upwards, right? So first hump, second hump, we create a triangle, and on that triangle, we end up going higher, right? So the same pattern I'm looking right now for Ethereum. There is a little chance that we are still on a kind of consolidation or double topping here, where we can get to these areas once again. This is my re-entry for Ethereum. All right, so let's go to Litecoin, because Litecoin, it's been basically flat-ish, right? But
Hold on, OC.
A flat. Yeah.
Wifey, have a great day. I just had to say that. Works wife fine 89. She's on her way out to work. Have a great day. All right, back to you, OC.
Absolutely. Didn't know that. All right, so let's take a look at what we have in here. This is a much better structure. And remember what we learned with training with OC, which is a very complex word, a pattern morphology. It's just a complex. It's just trying to be cool word, right? To just say, hey, one pattern can transform into another one. So do not marry, right? Do not stick to this is what I'm looking at and this is what's going to happen, right? Remember, always get that wiggle room right there for some transformation or evolution. So far, it seems like we could be making a double top. Is this an area to short? I'm very eager to say yes, and that is because we have not only a bearish divergence, seems like not quite there confirmed yet, that we could be having a secondary flopping here. So what I'm gonna be doing here, and I'm gonna be calling for a short position right here, all the way to my 89.51. Right. In fact, just because it's Monday, and I want to wish you guys a perfect and fantastic Monday, this is one of the calls that I'm gonna be actually pushing into the Discord. So remember, there's a couple of us in there pushing a couple of trade ideas. You decide which ones you want to take. So make sure you join the Discord. Be careful right here, because if Bitcoin goes to the upside, this is going to get a stopped out. So remember, always use your stop loss. All right, at least I want to, in the cut, I'm going to be jumping in here, just so you know, I will be taking this short, and I'm planning to get at least TP1, TP2. I know they're very close to each other, but remember, since this is a risky situation, I want to move as quick as possible. Remember, for morphology, that's why I mentioned it the first time. Let's see this high between this low and these supports. If I do this trend line, let me change that color. There we go, much brighter. We could be forming a flat top triangle. And flat top triangles usually break to the upside with strength. So again, TP1 on TP1, or at least as soon as you're in green, move your stop to entry, because we could be in a continuation. But we're dipping our toes right now to see how the waters are looking like. Now, I'm not shorting Bitcoin, I'm shorting altcoins at this point. All right. So Litecoin, there we go. First call of the week. BNB, looking like I also would love to short it, but I need to hold on my horses, because if I'm testing the waters, I cannot go all in with altcoins, especially not now that I've been for a long time above the zero line. And you see how strong of a movement we have had. I need to see right here break through that zero line. In fact, if we go to our alerts, BNB should be one of those that we set up, and we should have taking it, if I'm not mistaken. Don't tell me that I did not set my stop loss. My alert. Seems like I didn't. All right, well then, too bad for me. Nonetheless, we were looking for a further continuation. Yeah, for a further continuation, we have a breakout, possible retest for continuing up or going to dynamic reactor. How do we trade this? We just wait for the dynamic reactor to lead the way. So BNB looking like stop and hold. Atom. Again, the same as Litecoin, it actually played out as we were expecting for our movement to the upside. We're making that M, or maybe a little bit of a rising wedge in here like this. We're having this top, this low. This gives us a little bit of a support. We have a lower high basically confirmed. We have a reversal. We're going downwards. This one I will be already taking Litecoin. So since I haven't opened up a Litecoin trade, what I'm going to be doing, it is splitting my entry in two. So it's going to be half of an entry on Atom as soon as I'm breaking through, because I don't short supports, all right? So as soon as I'm breaking through, I'm going to be shorting this. Most likely it's going to be coming back down, coming back up, maybe readjusting my entry. How do I readjust my entry? Taking some profits right down here, and then whatever I took, I can re-add it right here to play it with my entry point. And then as it breaks down, back up for the retest, then I'll be aiming for my next short. So remember, half of an entry right here, half of an entry on Litecoin. All right. So far, so good. Hopefully that plays out very nicely. And let's go for that short again. I'm gonna be aiming to my red area and slightly above that that resistance. I want the resistance to act as a shield for me. So XRP doing fantastic. I did have a little bit of a run back down here. It did
Hold on
very
before
to me.
you do XRP. I got an article for it.
All right, let's go.
Over $1.47 billion in XRP just hit exchanges. Is a price drop coming? And so let's talk about this before you show the TA, because there's some interesting levels in here, OC. And you can put these on your chart referencing this article as you go through it. XRP has surged almost 27% over the past week, boosted by ETF optimism and strong demand. The price recently broke a key resistance of $2.72. I think it hit $3 today, actually. And the elusive $3 mark certainly looks within reach. Like I said, I think it hit it already. More than 98% of all XRP currently in circulation is now in profit. That means that most holders bought their XRP at lower prices and are now seeing gains. While this is bullish for sentiment, it also increases the risk of profit taking. When nearly everyone is in profit, some may choose to sell, especially after such a sharp rally. This can create short-term resistance for further upside. Supply and profit simply shows how much of the circulating XRP supply is currently worth more than when it was bought, okay? XRP supply on exchanges is rising. So XRP balances on exchanges has surged to 3.949 billion tokens, the highest level in over 4 months. The sharp uptick coincided with XRP's recent rally from 216 to 283 compared to June 23rd. More than 519 million XRP worth about $1.47 billion has flowed into exchanges in the past less than a month, 3 weeks about. So the only way this doesn't hurt the price is if bigger players step in and buy the excess supply fast. Otherwise, this $1.47 billion is potential liquidity, could drag the price down from the current levels. XRP price update, a pullback is still bullish though. XRP is trading just under 290. I think it's, let me go check. I think it's like $3 now. I just want to make sure. XRP 298. There you go. That's what I thought. 298. It's right there at $3. So which was after breaking the $2.72 resistance, which was the 786 of a trend-based Fibonacci extension drawn from the April low to the May high to the June low. I talk about these all the time on the show, right? And if you pull those levels, you can see at 294 is our one-to-one level. It did get a hit and rejected, came up, and we're coming back in past that now as support. Trend-based fib extensions is a charting tool. We already talked about that. Next resistance is 294. We're past that as sellers step in. Possible support lies at 272. Still in play, though, 272 and 255. A deeper correction would only overall invalidate the broader bullish structure. I think it's actually going to push past it. That's my opinion. That would push the XRP price into a range that it's been trading at since late April. For this kind of aggressive correction, the supply and profit folks would have to start offloading their XRP stash more aggressively than what we're seeing right now. Also, if the XRP price breaks 294 resistance zone, followed by a dip in exchange balances, the pullback hypothesis might fall flat, almost confirming that the next leg of the price rally is setting up. OC, what are you seeing on the chart, bro?
Absolutely. So we were looking for a possible extension. Remember, this is kind of like a tinfoil hat driven. This is something that I really need to tell you guys that this is speculation driven. Why? The speculation on my part, by the way, what I believe, what will be happening is not that I made it move. Just make sure that I'm putting that out there, right? Barely holding some XRP. Well, barely compared to the whole bulk. And I'm seeing XRP actually kind of like sneaking in with Visa, MasterCard, a couple of banks. It's being pushed really hard with it. I don't know. They may be upcoming, and this is what we have our tinfoil hat pointing up, right? Our maybe upcoming change or CBDC like turning on events, if that makes sense, where XRP is going to play a big role. So due to these characteristics, I think this will be a great opportunity for Visa or MasterCard to start migrating or working with the XRP chain to process data. If we get, for example, the big, beautiful, what was it? The
Genius Act. The Genius Act.
Yes, the Genius Act. Thank you for that. It's just so many funny names. But this might be something really push on that side. So seeing that, I mean, so far making that push, we are going back to reversal zones, right? Yes, we are in green. We are also in green, both in the clouds and in the oscillator, right? But we could be once again all the way up here, and I think we can still push to over 3.2, 3.4. In fact, if we start bringing it up, and what I want to bring up right now is my predictive ranges. Come on, predictive ranges. There we go. We are in the purple. Usually when we are on the purple, we either break with strength or we bounce from it. So am I going to be shorting this? I don't think quite there yet. Why? Because of the snowball effect or for the overshoot effect. So we already have a bullish pennant breaking out. I think we're going to try to make another one, get some people trapped, and then dump the price on us. So do expect it to play it out fairly quickly. Let me show you this week. I think something like this might be happening. Let's bring up another series of predictive ranges. There are my secondary predictive ranges. And that is because, look at that. Where are we heading to? We could be heading to the middle, the center line, the delta 358. I don't think that we're going to quite hit it. And that is because of lack of volume. But other than that, man, I think this could be a good run up and then a big pump. We already have seen it played out before. Look at that run up. Look at that dump, right? Look at that run up. Look at that dump. And this is not new on XRP, especially if we consider, and this is going to be important right now. If I hide, oh man, almost everything here, we'll see that we're actually breaking out of the forever range. In fact, taking our previous measure move, right, that we grabbed from these movements right here and from the breakout potential that we have. So what happened? Ding, 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 winner, winner, chicken dinner. From the way that we were talking about it to right now, we are right on spot. In fact, let me just Control C this to have it perfectly on the spot. So we already are maxing out on movements per pump or percentage per pump. So I believe whoever is pumping, which might be the XRP army, they are running out of steam. So maybe in the best case scenario, hitting the blue delta line, but that will be pushing it. Be prepared for the last pump and dump.
Absolutely. Real fast before we head out of here over to Crypto Coin Mindset. No, see if you have to bounce before we get done with it. So I want to go over a couple of things. First of all, guys, we did finish out that poll. Out of that poll, for I think 42 people, 42 of you voted on it. I said, will we get a full blown alt season this cycle? Meaning all of the alts will pump together, and 54% of you say yes. I'd like to know where that liquidity comes from. That's where I'd like to know. 45% of you said no. And I'm on the more no side. I think it's going to be sector based. I think you're going to see waves of like AI and then waves of gaming and then waves of layer ones. And I think that's what you're going to see, right? And you'll have some solids in there that'll just move because they're solid projects. But let's jump over and take a look at this chart here. This is CoinGo Live all-time high cryptocurrency price list. And I did the top 50, okay? The top 50 is what I pulled this on. I just want to show you some of these in the top 50. Like XRP. XRP would need percentage to the all-time high. XRP would need a 13.7% move, okay? Let's go down further. SWI would need a 37.89% move. Tron would need 43.27% move in order to get back to its all-time high. But let's go a little bit lower and start looking at this. Ethereum needs 61% move to the upside, okay? Solana needs 76%. XLM needs 87%. Aave needs 105%. Pepe 127%. Ondo 131. HBAR 135. Chainlink needs a 226% move to get back to its all-time high. Doge 261. Cardano 315% move. I just don't see. I don't see these moving. All together. I think you're going to get waves and that money's going to flow out of this. Okay, we made our profits there. Okay, let's go over to this. Boom, this goes up, takes profit, which leads me back to the final thing today. Shout out to LBC. He said, he said lately he's been changing his mindset because he closed his XRP long last night, and he said something that has been helping me, helping my trading a lot lately is, let me throw this up here on the screen. There you go. Is me asking myself, how will I feel if I lose these profits versus how will I feel if I close this trade too early? On that note, guys, no one's ever gone broke taking profits, ever. Okay. And we're not in this to round trip. We're not in this for the emotional damage of it all.
Emotional damage.
Not at all. We are in this to make profits, right? Maybe a little bit of the fintech, but that's because we think that fintech's going to be adopted by institutions, which means higher prices, right? That big piece of institutional money flowing in is what creates higher price averages. At the end of the day, it's to make money, and you do that by protecting your wealth, which is why we have a take profit plan in our dollar cost average Piper plan in the Discord. So if you guys are members, $4.99 gets you access to all that, plus the amazing trade setups in the Discord. So appreciate everyone being here today. If you haven't done so yet, please smash that like button. It helps us out immensely, and we'll love you a long time if you guys smash that like button, okay? Plus, share it with a friend, because sharing is caring. If you guys got anything out of this and you think, hey, my friends need to watch this show, share this out with them. Help us grow this channel. OC, appreciate you today, man. I know you got to run over to your show, but we're going to be heading over to Crypto Coin Mindset right now. So, OC, peace, love, everything, bro. We'll catch you later on today. Are you going live today?
Yes, going live today.
Catch OC live later on. Plus, LBC, I think he's live tonight, but he's got some other days this week. He's not. He's going on vacation. So appreciate you guys all being here. We will catch you tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, bringing you guys the news, the charts, the markets, the headlines, and everything you need to have knowledge. Until next time, guys, peace, love, and profits. Take them. It's okay.
I don't know what they keep telling me. I don't know what they keep telling me. Ain't no school like Piper Academy. Ain't no school like Piper Academy. We'll keep that front line covered, even when we're dead and gone. Way to keep going, cause we gon' keep on rolling out the wheels flow low. I know you hungry for knowledge, that's profit appetite. Classes in session, this for the Army Piper acolytes. Trade flag at the soul, train ready. What a line from OCI, from a Mexican spaghetti, yo. Crunch crypto with a deep dive to project dime. And if you like the visual powered by Tar Prime, then you were part of that alumni, that's all spine. But if you have, step fall back to offline.
Boom shakalaka.
We'll keep that front line covered, even when we're dead and gone. We'll find a way to keep going, cause we gon' keep on rolling out the wheels flow low.
I bumped the numbers up. Those are rookie numbers in this racket.
The ZTS rhythm.
Rip it. Alexandra. Yeah, that's my alumni. You know what I mean? You can't handle the truth.
That was awesome, dude.